Okay, we can hope you are getting my voice.
Yes,
Uma?
sir.
Okay. So let's start. Give me a second just to change the. Okay. So far, what we have discussed, we have gone through all the basic command, which is basically used by any professionals related to Unix or Linux platform, right? Now, today we are going to focus mainly on one of the base for any core IT professional, and that is SQL. And we are going to use just, I'm treating you guys as a just beginner, just you are about to start your career. So before that, what all are the things you supposed to know? And we always, as I mentioned in the last sessions also, we are mainly going to focus on why part, why SQL, or what is SQL. So more of the question you need to ask to yourself. You're doing SQL. Why I'm doing it? You have learned basic Linux commands. Why you did it? So this, if why part is clear from day one, the thing will be much more easier for you, and it is going to add much more value in coming days, or whatever number of sessions we are going to have. Okay, so the very first part is before I can just go into the setting and all those. So the very basic part, next 10 minutes, I'll go through just ABC kind of thing. Okay, so the very first part before coming to SQL, it starts with database. Or you all have heard some keyword or some word known as Rdbms. In your second semester or third semester, all of you, or if you are not from maybe core IT background, few of you are not in this core IT. So this is very common stuff we will be just listening on the day-to-day basis, and that is relational database management system. In short, we used to say Rdbms. And whenever, if I'll just share the screen, let me. I'm going to share my screen with you all. So just a second. I hope you are getting just one blank screen, right? Whiteboard.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, under that, if I'll type this particular stuff as RDBMS, and we all know the full form is Relational Database Management System. So this is the very basic and very common word we are listening from, you can say, day one in our professional the curriculum what you guys are, or if you are not into core IT related thing. So just for FYI, this is the basic one, relational database management system. Now what we are going to do, we are just going to break this down into different part, and that different part is, first I'm going to, what is the smallest unit of it? And that smallest unit is stand for D, and that is data. We need to clear what is data. Same thing. The next part will be, if I'll club together, DB means data base, database. Then DBMS. This is the sequence. What we are going to discuss right now, that is the sequence. It is going to impact the entire stuff. We will able to understand the exact meaning of it. So next came, it's a database management system. So before going to let me step, yeah. So this one, and then DBMS, and the same thing, whatever we have written, okay, same thing will be there, but at end of it, or not end of it, to start with, relational. So as a whole, and if we will go to more latest one, okay, so the more latest one will be this one. Let me RD. This is going to be relational only. Okay, so just a second. And one more thing, what I wanted to add here, just its type, you can just add his Rdbms. I forgot to mention then Rdbms. What it is, Rdbms? Everything will be same instead of object. So it's object relational database management system. So now tell me, have you guys ever heard it? What exactly it is? Rdbms, at least some of the other way you all have got it, right? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we have to start with the very first point. And the very first point is, if somebody will ask us that what is data, this part. So how we are going to answer it? If somebody will ask us what is data, so how we are going to encounter it? This part we are referring to this one. So again, as a novice person, suppose you guys never worked or never studied anything related to that, as a basic, very in the common sense in general stream, if somebody will ask us data, how we are going to answer it? Few of you can try at least. Tell me whatever coming in your mind. Is this question is very tough?
No, sir.
Okay, so just try it. Whatever it's coming in your mind, just speak up.
All information about anything, it's a data.
See, all information about anything is data. So are you, I'm not saying it's fully correct, fully wrong, or right wrong, but are you convinced with the answer? Or you are thinking, okay, it can be a little bit more precise or more better way we can explain? What is your thought on it? Because see, in the normal way, if we will able to explain the keyword or any topic, so any novice
Raw
will be
material.
able to understand. Yeah, go ahead.
Think raw material of any information are different things. I think it's a huge raw material.
Okay.
Any object.
So the same thing I'm going to tell you right now. So data, so any character is known as data, provided it should have some meaning. So any meaningful character is data. Make sense? Suppose dot. Is it data? If you are getting some meaning out of it, it's data. Are you getting the point? Any character you are writing, and if you are getting some information through it, it's data. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
See, whatever you said, I'm not saying it's wrong totally, but see, now you yourself got convinced. So any character, if it is some meaning coming out of it, it's a data. Simple. Correct? Next step. Database. If somebody will ask us, what is database? How we are going to explain this?
Sir, any character is information is stored in one place related to this the database.
Very good.
In database.
So, yeah. So what you are trying to say, the place where we are keeping data is database, correct?
Yes, sir.
Because we are clear with the data, right? So we are not going to further explain data because data is any character. If it is giving any meaning or any meaningful character is data, right? So the place where we are keeping this data is database. Now, next question is, can we say our notebook, physical notebook is a database? Just think through it, take 30 seconds, 1 minute and reply.
Or copy.
So,
Let's put in a copy, write down some information that.
yeah, so any notebook, physical notebook, can we say a database? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So that we are saying hard copy. But the same thing, if we are putting any data in a notepad, can I say notepad is a database? Think and say.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So that is known as where maybe notepad, maybe you can say our Word doc or Excel file, or these all we can treat as a database. And that also we are saying it's a soft copy, right? Soft copy, hard copy, we used to use this term. Now, if this is a database, then what is database management system? Because database is clear what we are we have written here. This third step is coming, database management system. So what about this? Can anyone try or use chat window for this? Or because these are the very, very basic. This is ABC for this. If we are not clear with these concepts, it is going to be problem.
So, a data which is stored in a database that is managed by a system. Any
That system is what?
System means administration.
Okay. Can you tell me any example of database management system? Because you are saying that it's a system, right? So system is something will be there, right? What system we are referring to? What management system we are referring to? Any example, just like database example you can give, sir. We can say notepad is a database because we are keeping data, right? Word is a database, we can just keep some information in it. So it's a same way. If somebody will ask us what is the example of Rdbms, hope you all are getting the question clear. If question is clear, answer is very easy.
Operating system. Idea, sir.
One more time, just I didn't listen.
SQL, sir.
No. So
No idea, sir.
DBMS example, have you ever heard something called DBase or FoxPro?
Foxflow is hard, sir.
Yes, no? No?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Foxflow.
So what is FoxPro? If you have heard, if somebody will ask us what is FoxPro, so how we are going to explain or how we are going to just answer it? Just think to it because you have heard it some of the other context, right? We all have heard it.
Yes,
When
sir.
we started our career around 20 years back, that time we studied FoxPro.
I will not remember about Foxflow.
And
It's a
I remember
command based. It's a command based, but not remember.
okay, no issues. So the FoxPro is the example of database management system. Now the question is, database, it's crystal clear to us. Now what this management system is all about? So now just answer me, if I am opening any file, say for example, this is a file I'm writing, suppose Calcutta, Delhi, Mumbai, and so on and so forth. In this, likewise, I can write 100 of city, or maybe I can write 100 of name, maybe Ram, Shyam, Raj, Nikhil, so on and so forth. I can write. So, likewise, we can write 100 or maybe 1,000 of names. And if I'll ask, okay, can you please list the name in ascending order in a notepad? Are you able to do it? Yes or no? You need to sort it in ascending order. Can you able to do it in notepad?
No, sir.
No, sir. But this is our requirement. So what you will do? You will do manually. Okay, who is from A? Okay, cut, paste at the line 1, line 2, line 3. In that way, 100 lines. So how long it will take for you to do it? Maybe hours. If data is maybe in several thousand or maybe in lakhs, it is going to be the whole day.
Yes, sir.
That is the challenge. That is the problem. Next, I want to display all the names which is starting with alphabet or character A. Can you display all the data in the notepad or from notepad starting with A at one go? Answer is no.
No.
Same way, if we are having lakhs of rows, and on the basis of that, as on the basis of our own requirement, I want to display only several or few hundred data, it is not possible in a notepad to display it. So what is the solution? So the solution is the advanced software. And that software here, that management system is the software which is the answer, which is doing all the stuff, whatever question I asked, that can be done with the help of DBMS software, or example FoxPro. Whatever question I asked, everything you will able to do in FoxPro. That means you want to display only some few record, start with A, B, you want to display only 10 row, you want to display. So these things can be done with the software known as DBMS or FoxPro. Example is FoxPro. So what this extra management system is doing, that is the management what I'm referring to. It is managing sorting, ascending order, maybe descending order, You want to display data, only few records or few column, something related to that. That can be done with this. So hope it is clear what is DBMS now. Whatever extra feature was not there earlier in database, we have included it in. And in the background, who is doing all these things? All the program. And that collection of program is nothing other than the DBMS software known as FoxPro. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Now, coming to next one. It's a relational database management system. So DBMS, we are clear and so what this relational is all about. And that also you all have at least gone through in your maybe second semester or third semester. There is a paper itself, one paper, separate paper is there for DBMS. And that also you all have gone through if you are from core IT. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now, any idea, you want to share? If somebody will ask us what is relational database management system, how we are going to answer it? No idea? Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. So here again, whatever this management system, so some extra program is there to manage, maintain some extra very strong feature on data. Just like in FoxPro, the volume of data, the huge volume of data, we cannot able to manage. Huge volume is suppose 1 terabyte of data. FoxPro will not support. It will hang. If millions of records are there, and if you want to search something, you want to display something, first those huge data it will not support. So that is the problem. And nowadays everything is data, right? Go for any bank, lakhs of transactions is getting done all over in that particular bank. Lakhs, crores of transactions. So think how much data is getting generated. So in DBMS software, it was not possible to handle the huge amount of data. And likewise, there are n number of features was missing that is needed nowadays to maintain data integrity, data security, state of data. So in the one single statement, I'm not going much more detail into it. If somebody will ask us what is relational database management system, so the system or the software, listen carefully, the software which is following Cord's rule, Dr. EF Cords, he have given certain rules, 12 rules are there. So that rule, if any database is following that database, we can say relational database. So what all those 12, 13 rules are there? Again, it's there in your syllabus. You can just revisit it, or you can later on, you can just search it and you can go through it. But ultimately, whatever we are going to learn in coming days, ultimately we are going to learn all those rules, whatever features we are going to use in next few classes, few sessions. So answer is the database which follows Cord's rule, known as relational database management system. What is Cord's rule? Again, you can just search it and you'll come to know. But ultimately, whatever we will learn in the form of that SQL, we are going to implement those rules only through commands. So one of the feature is it can just control or manage huge volume of data while maintaining data integrity. You can ask, sir, what do you mean by data integrity here? So if I'll just give one simple example here, I'm writing, suppose first column is employee ID, then name, then address, then PIN. Say for example, this is name, ID I gave 1, name I gave A, address I gave Kolkata, PIN I give something 111. Same way, I just put same thing again. Just try to understand. Same exact ditto. Okay. Same thing I gave again. And likewise, if I'll keep writing this thing 10,000 times, 10,000 row with same information, is it going to make any sense? Are you going to get any meaning out of it? Same information you are repeating for maybe 1,000 or maybe lakhs time. To keep, is it the requirement? Are you getting any benefit out of it? Normally answer is what? No.
No, sir.
So we have to apply some rule so that this cannot be done. That means duplicate at least one column should be unique. And that is the reason if you go for any banking domain or any bank, suppose, can one person's account number will be same for that bank? Is it possible?
No, sir.
But how to apply that rule? That is one of the example, or one of the rule is there in Cods, given by Dr. E.F. Cods. One company, can we have multiple, means same employee ID for employees? Never, right? So what to do so that at least for that employee ID column, duplicate value should be avoided, or it should not keep it or take it. How it is possible? That is given under that rule. Likewise, many. So that thing is inbuilt in the relational database management system software. Now, question is, what is the example of Rdbms? Just like what is the example of DBMS, we know Foxtrot, right? Or DBase. Same way, what is the example of relational database management system? And I know all of you know the answer.
Student information.
What?
Student information.
No, student information is, see, that is the generic. That is a simple information you can write in one notepad also, right? So can I say notepad is a relational database management system? No.
Yeah, employee information, sir.
No, employee information, I can write it, duplicate the way I have written here, right? In notepad. So is it going to be a relational database? We have to put some rules so no duplicate data will be there in the place.
The employee ID is different, so it's not duplicated.
Yeah. So here, the example of, see, we are talking about here database, and you are just giving name of specific application kind of thing, right? Maybe some software you have created for your own maybe dummy project or something. But here we are talking about thinking about very big thing. Worldwide it is being used. This rule is not for you and me only, it's for entire world, IT world to follow. Okay. So the example for relational databases is one of the database what we are going to learn, and that is known as Oracle. Oracle is example of relational database management system. What else? Have you ever heard about something called SQL Server? MS SQL Server? Have you heard? No?
No, sir.
Okay. MS SQL Server is the example of relational database management system. Sybase is the example of relational database management system. So all these 3-4 name are what I just took. All are following course rule. And that is the reason, as I mentioned, that the Dr. E.F. Course, he have given some rule. Any database, if they wants to comes in category of relational database, they have to follow those rules. Then only it become relational database. So Oracle is one of the example of relational database management. And now the extra feature is also there in all the Rdbms is object oriented feature got incorporated in these databases. So that's what we are saying. It's an object relational database management system. Again, example is Oracle. Oracle SQL Server. You can just take few more are there. Just focus on this. Though you are not aware of many names, at least remember 2 names: Oracle and that Microsoft SQL Server. Now, you might be thinking that, okay, sir, we have discussed a little bit basic about data, the database and database management system and object. So where is SQL is coming into the picture? What is the use of SQL? Because SQL, at least you all have heard in past, right? Yes or no? SQL, we all have heard at least.
Yes, sir.
Now, all these databases or maybe relational databases, 2 example I gave, where SQL is coming into the picture. So, if we will talk about this, so the symbol we can treat in this form. I can just treat this. Give me 1 minute. Okay. We can treat this diagram as a database. Okay, so let me draw it one more way. Somehow color got changed. Just a second. Okay, so you can treat this as a database, and all the information what we are having that we used to write inside this, whatever, suppose I said thousands of lakhs of records, so all the records are being kept in this database. But how to write those records? Suppose in a bank there are 1 lakh customers, so 1 lakh customer data will be there. How to write those 1 lakh records into database known as Oracle? Or already information is there. How to read those information from that database? It's not like Notepad, we can simply open it and we can start reading it. It's not like that. So if you want to write something into database, relational database, if you want to do some update into database, if you want to delete some records from database, and what database I'm referring to? I'm referring to Rdbms, relational database, and right now I'm giving example for Oracle or any MS SQL server. So if you want to write or read or update or delete something into database or from database, that can be done with the language known as SQL. Yes, structure query language. So with the help of that only, you will able to insert or update or delete or where to insert. We have heard something called table, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
that table, how to create it, that creation of the table is also done by SQL only. Now, if somebody will ask us what is SQL, how we are going to respond, how we are going to just at least for sake of our understanding. Because main challenge is we have gone through the paper, but we never understood what is the purpose. And the whole aim right now, what we are trying to understand, what is the purpose. So SQL is the example, structured query language is the example, or this is the language through which we can interact, we can insert, update, delete, create, or manipulate data into any Rdbms. So if you know SQL, you can work with Oracle because it's Rdbms. If you know SQL, you will able to work with MS SQL Server. If you know SQL, you'll be able to work on Sybase or many more. Nowadays, things are coming with no SQL. If you know this language, you will be able to work on non-relational database also. Such a powerful language this is. So, in one statement, how we are going to just explain it? It's a common language. SQL is the common language for all relational database management system. And that SQL right now, we are going to work on Oracle. You can work on many, but we will be focusing on Oracle. Make sense? Why we are learning Oracle SQL? Now, if somebody will ask us what is SQL, are we in position to at least explain in a normal, simple, basic way?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what I'm going to do in next 5 minutes, I'll be just going to give you the basic idea what are the type of SQL statement we are going to learn and the purpose of it. Now, I already explained it in the without structure way in last 10 minutes, but the same thing I'm going to explain it a little bit more proper way. And for that, let me open one new. I'm just deleting all those. Okay. Now, if we are talking about that SQL, so this is of mainly that language will divide can be these type. First one is DQL, data query language, okay, DQL. Second one is DML, data manipulation language. Third one, at least these things you have heard it, right? All of you,
DML hot sir. DCL.
yes, so DDL, right? You have heard this thing. DCL, control. DTL, transaction. Okay, so these are the different category of this. Now, what exactly is coming under DQL? Q stands for query. Okay, so how we will able to do query? Query means we have to select or display the records available in the database or available in the database tables. So how to display the data from the database? So that can be done with the keyword select. So we are going to learn select. What else? Next one is DML, data manipulation language. Manipulation means what? You want to update some record, you want to delete some record. So that how we can do that can be done with the keyword, or you want to suppose insert new record. So the keyword what we are going to use is insert. So for putting new record in the table into the database, then update. If you want to modify the record, that update. And if you want to remove record from the database, and one also is there merge. If two table data you club it together. So these four mostly we are using first three: insert, update, delete in our day-to-day life, in whichever domain you are going to work. Maybe developer, maybe database, or DBA, maybe any you name it, anywhere, everywhere almost you are going to use this thing. Such important part. What else? Next part is DDL. What is the purpose of DDL? Just like purpose of DML is to insert, update, delete, merge. DQL is select. What is the purpose of DDL? Data definition language. The purpose of this data definition language is to create table. How to create table? That can be done with the keyword called create. You want to modify the structure of the table. So 3 columns is there in the table. You want to add more. So for that, there is a keyword what we are going to use is alter. So create is there, alter is there. What else? If you want to remove, drop the table, remove the table. You don't want X table anymore. Purpose of X table is done. You don't want to keep it. So if you all don't want any tables, so that can be removed by a command or keyword known as drop. So apart from there, DCL and DTL, some transaction control. So these are the advanced part. Just you can ignore it. I'm not going to just discuss this thing. Some grant revoke is there, commit rollback. So transaction, you may have heard something called commit rollback. If you want to save data permanently, how to do it? It is not going to be saved automatically. Just like we used to give file save, right? Same thing. If you want to save data permanently in Oracle database or any relational database, there's a commit. If you don't want, if you have insert, just like undo we used to do, that can be done with the help of rollback. Okay. Grant, if you want to give some access, just like we have gone through the permission, right? 777. That means we are giving one file permission to public or to you only yourself or to other group. So same way, if you want to control data from database, how you are going to control it? That can be done with the grant revoke command. So this is the total entire part. At least we should have the basic idea. Advanced part, if you know nothing like it, or getting into job, working in a project, everywhere this is, and this is must known topic for each all of us. Now, sir, okay, that it makes sense. Okay, these are the things, but how to use it? By simply writing, giving select keyword, the thing will not work, right? So, what is the way out? What are the different way we can learn, or what are the different technique we will use it in a database, Oracle database? So for that, I'm going to just show you all actual use of it. Okay. So for that, prerequisite is you all should have the access to the database. So right now, I'm just going to display it, and same thing you have to do practice. Okay. So I'm focusing on the very first part, and that is the select part. The very first, this select part, we have to focus. Okay. Now, how to go and connect to database. To start with, this is, as a fresher, this is a little challenge. Though it's totally new for you all, it is going to be a little challenge. So I have system ready with me. I'm going to share, and you all have to just follow me for now. Okay. And we all know what I'm doing right now. I'm just starting the Linux server where my database is available. Okay. So just wait for a few seconds. And in the meanwhile, anybody have any question, you can put in the chat box, or in the meanwhile, any question, any confusion, why we are doing, how part I'll come just right now. But the whole discussion for last half an hour, 45 minutes, at least we should be clear the basic, like database management system, relational database management system, the basic idea, how to interact with this, what is SQL, what is the purpose of SQL. So purpose of SQL is, it should be clear at least why we are going to learn SQL.
Clear, sir.
Yeah. So SQL is basically, it's a language for any relational database. That should be crystal clear to all of us, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, password is by default Oracle. Hope you all remember what is the setting the environment. If somebody will ask us why to set environment, we should be in position to answer it. So this is for Oracle. Okay. And what I'm doing, the step is to starting the database. So that is basically advanced part. You won't supposed to do it. Whenever you will join any company, you will be knowing how to connect to database. So that part, though I'm using the administrative, that is the advanced commands to start the database, you can ignore it for now. Okay, so let me start it, and then I'll whatever I'm using, you can ignore it for now. Okay.
Sir, not showing, sir.
It's
Can
not
say
showing.
not. No,
Okay.
sir. SQL and DQL only, sir. It's a type.
Okay. So let me just a minute. Now it's clear,
Yes, sir.
visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Visual.
So what I'm doing is setting the environment. So we all know what exactly you mean to say setting the environment, right? So I have multiple databases in this, and I'm going to work in one of the database, and that is the reason I have chosen ABC database name. So this command is basically we are learning to just start the database. Now, just let me know. Are you able to feel why I have done this particular part? Because, say for example, you are using your laptop. So, is your laptop is going to give anything, any advantage if you will not start the laptop? Is it going to work? No, never, right?
Yes, sir.
Unless you not switch on it. Same way, here we are discussing Oracle database. So unless this database will not up and running, we will not able to use any of the command or any of the keyword what we have discussed right now, like select, like insert, update, delete, create, drop, nothing will work. So if database is not up, so table is not there, or table is there, you will not able to see what is inside it. Just like unless you'll not switch on the laptop, you'll not able to see what is there inside it. Same way, unless you'll not start database, you'll not able to see what is inside it. So what I did, I start the database, and this thing is basically not this task what I did in last 2-3 minutes. This task is assigned it to one team known as database administrator. This is very, you can say, high profile work or assignment. Okay, so what next? As a developer, as a team, you all are going to use this database. So now what I did, I just activated it. That's it. But next, we need to know what all are the things available in this database. So for that, by default, for practice purpose, Oracle has given one user. Just like for operating system, one user is there through which we used to log in and work. Same way, in Oracle, there is a default user given by Oracle for doing practice. And that user is known as HR user. And always for doing practice, we will be using HR user. But how to connect with HR user? So for that, this is the command SQL plus, then HR username, password is Oracle. The moment you give this, if everything is okay, you are going to connect to that user. So it got connected. Next command. If somebody will ask us, you already got connected. Somebody asks, okay, can you please tell me what is the username you are working on? What is the username? Means which username? Database username I'm referring to. Right now, whatever till yesterday, what we discussed on the operating system. Right now, what we are discussing on database part. So to know the command which user you are right now working on is so user. So right now, which user we are working? HR. Now under this, we want to check which all are the tables by default exist into this user. So to know that, there is a command. This is again very basic command. Select star from tab. And this is the first statement I have typed, and that is known as SQL statement. Purpose of this SQL statement, what I wrote just now, is to find out what all are the tables available in the current user known as HR. These all are the objects, or these all are the table available into this. What next? Suppose these tables are there. Okay, employees table is there, departments table is there. So the next question is, sir, I want to find out, okay, table is there, means if somebody will ask us what is table. So table is two-dimensional matrix, consists of rows and column, right? So if you want, okay, sir, I want to know that, okay, what are the columns available in employee table? Any idea? Anyone? You can use chat window, or you can just, if somebody asks what are the columns available in employee table, how we are going to know? So to know the column in that particular table, any table, I'm using employee table. See, these many number of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 columns is there in the table known as employee. These are the columns available in the table. But sir, I want to see all the records, all the row available in employee table. So to display the record from a table, which keyword we have learned? Which keyword I have just put in the last the slide? We have discussed some type SQL, right? DDL, DML, DQL, DCL. Any idea? Any guess? If you want to display all the records from a table, which table? Employee table. No idea?
Select, sir.
Okay, very good. Select star from table name. Okay. And that table name can be any table name. All other table we have discussed, na? Any table. So it will display the data or records which is available in those tables. Right now we are discussing star means what? All columns. And see, all. Now here, though the number of column is more and width is very less, So that is the reason it is displaying in this format. So there is a way we can just fix it. So that is known as set line size. You can ignore it, whatever I'm doing right now. It will see. Now it is much more visible. Okay, employee ID is there, first name is there, employee ID is 179. Still some is overlapping, so we can fix it. How we can fix it? Let me just do it. If I'm reducing the column, that you can ignore it again. It's not mandatory to know right now, at least. Okay, so don't worry to avoid confusion. See, it is just displaying in same line. I just reduce the width of this heading, so it is right now displaying. So this is the command. L means I gave L, enter means whatever SQL statement I gave it last, it is displaying. So select star from employee means display each and every record from the table known as employee table. No, sir, I don't want to display each and every record of a table. I want to display all the record, but only for column employee ID, first name, last name, and salary. That's it. Nothing else I want to display. So we know what are the columns we want to display. So simple, select employee ID, first name, last name, salary from table name. Which table name? Employee. You can type it also. See, only 4 columns data is getting displayed. Is it possible in Notepad? You have written maybe thousands of record with 10 column. You want to display only 3 column data at one go. It's going to take a hell lot of time. You have to copy paste and you make it. So it may take much more time. See here, in few seconds we are displaying this record. And right now it is only 107. It may be 1 lakh record also. It may be 1 crore record also you'll able to display. So whatever command last 3-4 statement I used, that is basically select statement or any. So that is coming under SQL, structured query language. From where this data is displaying in the background database, that got stored in the form of table, rows and column. Just this is see, rows and each and every columns are there. See, first name, last name, salary. And here, if you see employee ID, you will not get any duplicate record. How it is possible? Whatever mechanism is there in the horseshoe, that is getting implemented. If you will try to insert duplicate record, it will give error. We will do this thing. We will see how to insert, update, delete those things. But right now we are focusing on select. Now, what else we can? So somebody will ask, okay, I want to display only this 4 column, but whose salary is greater than 9,000. I want to display only those records under which salary is greater than 9,000. How to do this? So same, whatever SQL statement we have done. So I'll just repeat this thing. Select employee ID, first name, last name from this. Where salary is greater than I gave 9,000, I think. Any number you can give depending on your requirement. So select employee ID, first name, last name, salary from employee, where salary is. See, whichever salary you are getting in front of you, all are greater than 9,000. Earlier, total record was 107, 107. Right now, how many number of record it is displaying? 23. So this is the language what we are using. This is if you want to display greater than, so we are learning, okay, greater than sign. Condition we have to give where. So this is just, it's a very simple, it's English-like language. Very simple. And that thing we have to do practice. Now, suppose you want to display, suppose one select star from tab I'm giving. So it is displaying all the records. In this, if somebody will ask, or somebody will ask us, okay, can you please display all the records from departments table? What will be the command? Just a second. You can just use chat window, okay? What is the
Select.
what will be the total
Command.
I'll just back in 1 minute, okay? And follow.
So select abstract from department. Hello.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, you are correct. Give me 1 minute, okay? One call is coming. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, I'm back. Okay, are you getting my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Oma and all, you're getting screen. So select star from, sorry, select star from department. See, these many number of, only 27 records are there. And department ID is there, name is there, manager ID is there, location ID is there, these information are there. Now, if somebody will ask, oh, no, I want to display the record whose manager ID is 200. Only one record I want to display. I don't want to just display. So simple, select star from this, where what manager ID is equal to 200. Making sense? Only one record, see? I want to display whose location ID is less than, suppose, 1700. Location ID is less than 1700. So this where location ID is less than 1700. See, all are less than 1700. See, earlier the record was what? So less than 1700. So is it true or it's not getting the correct one? 1700 should not display.
Yes, sir. So equal to.
So yeah, so here less than and equal to and all those we will be using on a number type only. This is not number type. So here also we need to discuss something in the data type. So though you all have a little idea about C, C++ or Java. So we know what is character type, what is number type, different data type is there, right? Integer, character, those kind of things. So here also the greater than, less than, this are different operator based on the number type. But sir, how to find out this location IDs of number type or it's a character type? How to know? So if you remember, we have discussed something called describe this thing. And if you see, okay, so yeah, no, it's a number type only. Okay, now then why it is some mistake definitely we have done. And what mistake we have done? Can you, anyone, see what number I have given? Instead of 1700, how much I gave?
For 17,000.
Yes, by mistake, and that was the reason it was. Now is it okay? See, it was 1700. So less than 1700, only few records. See, 1400 and 1500, and that's what it got displayed. 1400 and 1500.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so this is the basic of the select statement. One last command, what I'm going to show you is, suppose I gave select star from this. Now I want to display the department name which starts with A. Starts with A. Whichever department name whose initial character is A, that only will be displayed. Or whose name ends with N or maybe S, that only I want to display. How to do that? So here we are going to learn another operator, just like less than, greater than, where there is operator known as like. See what I did. This is the operator. Within single quotation A, then percent sign. So whichever it will start with A, that only it is getting displayed. Rest will not display. Same thing I said, I want to display the departments whose name ends with S. Everything will be same. Only the percent, the S will be there, then single quotation. See, all the department names, what you are getting is ends with S. Yes or no? Now you want, no, sir. In whichever, in the entire department name, if any character is there called T, anywhere, maybe first, maybe last, maybe in between, anywhere, if P character is available in that department name, I want to display that department. How to display that? Percent T percent. Difference is this 2 times I gave percent. So it will search an entire column. If small t, capital T, no, small t will be there, it will display the entire record. And see, 16 departments have T character in it. You search any one of it. T is there. See, T, relation T, everywhere T is there. You want back to back, consecutive double C, back to back, means CC. Any name having CC in them, it will display. So only one is there. See, accounting. You want to on any department having ON in it, it will display. See? So that's it pretty much for this and today. Okay, so in next session we will just discuss on that the DML, then your DDL and all those kind of things.